So here's the thing. Israel, according to this Haaretz report, has attacked Syria and struck Syria numerous times. Dozens of times since 2012, but since then, according to one source, it's now approaching the triple digits, over 100 times. Listen, I'm not the sharpest knife in the kitchen drawer, but when you've got that much from that many in that place, something has to give. Wouldn't you agree? That it's really, to me, only a mouse click away, if I can say that, to borrow a computer metaphor. Well, this brings us to, and also ties in with the sixth reason, which is, again, the familiar prophecy in Ezekiel 38 and 39 about Russia and Iran leading an alliance of nations that launch this attack against Israel, unsuccessful, thankfully, by the way, because God will intervene. And this is what I want to spend just a little bit of time on, if you don't mind. I've long held to the belief that Isaiah 17:1 concerning Syria will be the catalyst for the fulfillment of Ezekiel 38 and 39. By catalyst, I mean it's the nexus. It's that which triggers and then brings about very suddenly, I'm going to use that word suddenly again, the attack against Israel by way of Russia and Iran, exactly as Ezekiel 38 has prophesied. And I'm going to show you a slide that I actually put together a while back, and I want you to note how that in the yellow are the nations that are conspicuously absent from the list of nations that are allied with Russia and Iran when they attack Israel. Now, this is key because amongst them is none other than Syria. You would think that Syria would be mentioned in that Ezekiel 38-39 prophecy. They're not. So does that mean then that it's very possible that Isaiah 17:1, the destruction of Damascus, would explain the absence of Syria from the Ezekiel 38 prophecy? I would suggest that that is a very plausible scenario. Now, I know that both Amir and Michelle have talked about America and what's happening in and to America, and this is what I want to talk about. I did delete quite a few slides. Thank you very much, Amir. Shukran habibi. It's okay. I still love you. The question to me is, and I want to seek to answer it scripturally and reasonably. The question is, what happens to America? What happens to the once most powerful nation on earth in order for this to be so? And I know that you're probably not going to like the answer, but I believe it's already happening. Present tense, as we speak. So I want to ask you if you'll kindly allow me to present another scenario. Is that okay, Amir, if you had 5, so I'm going to hijack back like 2 of them. Is that okay? All right. Sort of. I was thinking about when Michelle was referencing the Zechariah 12 prophecy about how that, Jerusalem will be a burdensome stone, a cup of trembling, a heavy stone, boundary stone, and all who try to move it will injure themselves. And by Amir's statement, which I really appreciated, when he said that he has never seen a nation so divided as America is today. Now, this is why, and I come full circle, but I do want to suggest this. Is it possible that the reason why America is so divided is because America heretofore has sought to divide Jerusalem? You know, in one translation, it's a little bit more intense. And you'll forgive me, but God declares, I will cut you into pieces if you try to cut Jerusalem into pieces. So, to me, it seems that not only is America being systematically dismantled and destroyed from within, but America is also the target of sudden destruction from without. You know what this whole thing about the anthem protests are about, right? It's about dismantling and destroying the Judeo-Christian foundation of this great nation that I am so grateful for and love so very much. And I know you do too. And, you know, when we were in New York, I had the privilege of meeting an online member who heads the anti-terrorism unit for the NYPD at the NYPD bomb squad. And he took my wife and my daughter and I on a tour there and got to meet some of these guys. These are heroes, man. These are heroes, and I appreciated, Eric, you acknowledging the security and the police officers. We are so thankful to you. I tell you, the very thing they're trying to protest are the very people that give them the freedom to be able to protest. That I can't, you know, whenever I see somebody in uniform, and in Hawaii it's a very pronounced military presence in that state, and I always walk up to them and I always put my hand out and I shake their hand and I thank them for their service. Sometimes it freaks them out a little bit. Here's an Arab walking up to a, whoa. Thank you for your service! It's kind of fun being me. I like to have fun with that.
If you just joined me, playing a message by Pastor J.D. Farag, given at Understanding the Times 2017, back on October the 7th, why the rapture can happen at any time. Let's head right back to Pastor J.D.
This movement that's afoot, that is targeting America for destruction from without, is sadly gaining traction and momentum, and the goal is to destroy both America and Israel. Let's not forget that in Iran, America is the great Satan and Israel the little Satan. And they still chant, even while the ink was still drying on the nuclear deal by one Barack Hussein Obama, they were still chanting death to America and death to Israel. Why? Because America is in the way. America will come to the defense of Israel, and that's why America has to be taken out of the way, so that she is rendered inconsequential in coming to the defense of Israel. We are in the bullseye. America, and this is the why behind the what, if I can say it that way. We are in the bullseye because America is in the way of this target, this destruction against Israel. And please hear me out on this. It will not succeed in destroying Israel. That is the promise that Israel has. However, no such promise is made to America. Am I right? Here's the truth. Something has to happen to America. And this is why I believe we are now hearing about particularly North Korea. You have to understand that for the last 10 years, Iran and North Korea have been very chummy, for lack of a better word. And I'll tell you, Iran wants to destroy America vis-a-vis North Korea and a nuclear attack. Now, of course, living in Hawaii, when I talk about this, makes people a little bit nervous because we're there where he is. And so, but the thought is that once America is out of the picture, then there's nobody that is going to be able to come to defend Israel. Get this, Israel will have to look to their God. That's the point, is it not? Don't you find it interesting that in Ezekiel 38, Zechariah 12, and others as well, that the Lord himself declares, you know why I'm doing this? So that you will know that I am the Lord your God. There's no America, there's no nation. All the nations are gathered against her. What happens to America? Well, maybe they succeed. And that's, again, just from without. Maybe it comes that way. Time doesn't permit me to talk really about the destruction from within, except to say this, that if there is a measure of success in trying to remove, you know what they're wanting to do now, right? They want to remove the national anthem altogether. Oh, you knew that was coming, didn't you? Isn't that why they're tearing down everything? And they want no evidence of any Judeo-Christian foundation in the United States of America, because then it sort of validates their illegitimate claim to this once most blessed and powerful nation on earth. Let me say this just parenthetically. I believe that today in the United States of America, our beloved America, we are still enjoying the residual blessing of our support of the nation of Israel. I believe that. I believe that.